Okay, we're still in action. We're going to run out of power just a second. We're just fueling up the generator. Here they ride from the left-hand side. Give them a real big round of applause for Queensland. And on my right is New South Wales as they ride in with a great fan club supporting them as the players ride out with the Australian flag and the New South Wales emblem there. Well, it's into the state of origin here. Not on the rugby field, it's on the Polocrosse field. It has happened many, many times before. It would be interesting to find out what the stats are.
Yes, I have lost power. Well, they're just filling the generator up, so. Why do you think I needed a battery, Stephen? Just so I could look cool? That second section full Queensland. Well, I'm chasing over my power's off.
Just waiting here at the moment. They're just wishing each other well. I think they're still waiting for everybody to be clear of the fields, please. Stay clear of the fields and right out behind the back line. We won't commence this until David Sillis, Australian Chief Umpire, says all go. We're waiting on another umpire, and that was Grant Clark from the Northern Territory. Brad Cooper and Phil Day, the referees out here. And they'll have full control over this game on any decisions that need to be made. So sit back and relax, ladies and gentlemen. You paid your money to be here. You paid a lot of money to stay the week, and it hasn't going to cost you any more to barrack. So get behind a state, no matter what it is. Support these young guys out here that have just been absolutely playing fantastic polocrosse. We keep saying it is the future of the sport, and it is true. But you've got to keep the old fellas in here as well, so you've got to work on both ends of the scale here, from the young to the old, and up they go. They're ready to line up here in the opening chukker here between New South Wales Junior Open on the Griffin Energy field. Umpire John Clohessy will start proceedings as they line up. Up front will be John Franklin against Murray Scott, Mitchell Weekly, Sam Reed, Liam Shaw, Matt Taylor. Ball goes in. Oh, taken out of the front there by John Franklin, the number one. John Franklin goes to the line. Bounce, trap, opening scores. He drives one through. Well, that was quick. Out of the line-up, John Franklin, 1-0. Opening chukker. Probably a little bit of nerves on both sides as they settle in. In it goes. Grant Clark throws it in out the back. Taken nicely there by Liam Shaw, the number 3. Looking for Murray Scott, the number 1. Sets himself up. Pass goes into the area. He checks across the line. Has a look at the goals. And that's a quick return. Well, 1-1 they go, head-to-head at the moment. 8 chuckers, remember, 2 extra from a normal game. One's line up. John Clohessy, left-hander, throws it in, snapped out of the centre by the number 2 in Mitchell Whiteley. Mitchell Whiteley's looking for his number 1. He gets a bit of a nod and a wink. Goes over the top. Oh, pass is beautiful. That's goal number 2 to New South Wales. Well, Mitchell Whiteley got it into the centre. Took the pressure going down. His number 1 just hit here, just lob it over to me. And he did with a beautiful big clean pass, floated through the air into the racket, straight in front of goals and put it through at 2-1 in favour of New South Wales. Grant Clark, the umpire on the scoreboard side. In it goes, knocked in behind the 2s and the 1. This time it's that man, Mitchell Whiteley, the number 2's got it. Wheels right through the big pack, looking for the pass across. Number 3's been kept right out, and that's goal number 3 to New South Wales, dominating through the centre at this current stage. From Mitchell Whiteley's got it. Well, the Blues all over the maroon number 3s at the moment, not getting an opportunity to get out and get free and hunt up his opposing number 1. In it goes, round and down it goes, out the back on the pack they go. The big number 2, lead for Queensland, leads out this time in Sam Reed. Sam Reed throws it back in the field. Oh, Mitchell Whiteley's got it again. Look at he backs up here on the big black horse, looking for his number 1 in Murray Scott. Murray Scott's got it in the racket against the number 3 in Matt Taylor. Now they work steadily across the top of the D, faces up to him. Just goes off the right, end to the left, inside. No, he decides to take another turn and works his way out across the 30-metre line. Back there's the number 3 in Matt Taylor. Checks him up this time. He throws him behind him this time and makes no mistake. Well, 4 goals to 1. It doesn't mean absolutely too much at this particular point in time, as there's 8 chuckers to go, but a very handy breaks, and sometimes this is all that's needed to create that little bit of gap. In it goes the umpire, Grant Clark, is still not happy with the lineup. In it goes, out the back it goes. Oh, look at that. He was out of the lineup, in the lineup. He took it out. That's number 3 in Liam Shaw. Cross to his number 1. Makes no mistake as he wheels one through. Well, Liam Shaw, his horse just up in the air about it. Just as he came in, the ball through and into his racket. Out he went and dropped it into the number 1 in Murray Scott's racket. 5-1 it is in this chucker. Knocked down out the ground. Now the Queensland go for it in Sam Reed. Sam Reed scrapes a big one up, checks up midfield. Round he goes. Back there's the number 1. Yeah, for New South Wales is Murray Scott. Now he takes him on. He's got to look. What's he going to do? He looks like he might run out of breaks a bit. No, he doesn't. He's got time to check up midfield. Gets a bit of a shove there, but beautifully taken there. He was right in the right position as a New South player on the offside, and that's the number 2 in Mitchell Whiteley, but doing a great job, not only in attack but in defence. Oh, he's taking it out of the racket. On he goes and retrieves the ball. Well, that's a big turnover for him, and that's what you want. Up goes the number 2 in Sam Reed as he checks him behind, looking for his number 1 in Murray Scott. Now he's in the middle of the pack. The ball comes out of the racket, but he's got time to pick it up again. Looking for the number 1 in Murray Scott. Goes over the top, takes it this time. Goes around Matt Taylor this time. Can't get a shot from over the back line. Now he works steadily across the top of the D. Checks in, comes the inside under the neck, and all clear. Goal number 6. Well, Mitchell Whiteley there, just he's everywhere at the moment. He's like a rash. He's all over you. In it goes. Grant Clark throws it in. On the ground it goes. In the middle of the pack. Can't see he's got it. Come around, the ball still on the ground. Can't see where nice. A New South Wales player comes up with the number 1 again, and that's Murray Scott. Murray Scott takes the 2 on. Big bounce in front. Goes out the back door. On the ground, it's going to leave it for Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor, forehand pickup. Gets around a bit of timber from the number 1 in Murray Scott. Now he settles it down, trying to get out of the area. Trying to get one on the board for Queensland. 6-1 it is at the moment. Round he goes. Loses him on the turn. Now he sets himself up and says he'll take it himself. The ball sits up beautifully. Now he leans out and up he goes. Murray Scott, the number 1, goes up. He can't take the ball. Did a nice big check back throw midfield with a bit of backstick on the way through. Now he's looking for his number 1. He's up in there in the area, and that's John Franklin. What can he do? John Franklin sets himself up to the pass. He takes it. Roll and intercepted out of the racket on the ground. New South Wales do it with style as they come to the line. Now it's the number 3 in Liam Shaw. The number 3 just dangles the racket by the horse's hips. Gets a bit of backswing there, but he's got, and his other players are held out. Up he goes looking for the number 1. A little pass goes in. Oh, it's off the tip of the racket. Goes over, and that's chucker. Well, what a chucker for New South Wales. 6 goals to 1 it is.
Righto now, ball in the centre here with umpire John Clohessy just here under the PA system, thrown in over the back. Who's the first to turn and get there? It's the number 3 for the Queensland side. Couldn't do it. The New South Wales gets it on the second occasion. That's Lucy Grills, the number 3 there on the chestnut pony. Heads down past the centre line towards the 30-yard line there in the east end of the ground, waiting for the opportunity to pass across into a number 1 in Jim Grills, and Jim Grills works around that area, opposed by Michael Castles from Queensland, the number 3. Just working around that 30-yard area and goes up, and as easy as like he puts another goal on the board for New South Wales. 7 goals to 1, very, very early stages, second chucker. Ball back in the centre, far side of the ground. Umpire Grant Clark throws the ball in. It comes down in favour of the Queenslanders. The number 3 there takes a beautiful near side pick up. That's Michael Castles. Now he peels off the rest of the pack over on the far side of the ground. Goes up towards the 30-yard line. Looks for the pass in there to his number 1 in James Neal. James Neal, a lovely take too. Lucy Grills now defending for the New South Wales side. James Neal, the number 1, unloaded. Umpire's seen an infringement. One would suggest it could be a free goal to Queensland. That's the way the umpires see it. So that takes the score through now to 7-2 in favour of New South Wales. Ball back in the centre. Umpire John Clohessy calls the players into line. Looks pretty good too. Thrown over the back into the racket there of the number 3. Lucy Grills couldn't quite hang on to it though. Left now for the opposing number 3 and Michael Castles for Queensland. With the ball going down towards the 30-yard line. There's the pass into his number 1 in James Neal. A lovely little 362 comes up towards the goals. Lucy Grills defending grimly for the New South Wales side, working that 30-yard area. Number 1 James Neal, number 3 Lucy Grills working around, waiting the opportunity. Both ponies working very well. There's James Neal, has a shot. Puts it through for another goal to Queensland, so it brings it now to 7-3. Second chucker. An absolutely outstanding game of junior polocrosse. Ball back in the centre, far side of the ground. Umpire Grant Clark throws the ball in now into the racket there of the number 3 for Queensland in Michael Castles now. Michael Castles now heads up towards the middle of the ground. He's under a bit of treatment from a couple of New South Wales players. Gets out of trouble there. Looks for the pass across to his number 1 in James Neal. James Neal was unloaded by the opposing number 3 in Lucy Grills. Picks it up on the second occasion. James Neal now right over in this pocket and gets caught. Pushed out by the number 3 for New South Wales in Lucy Grills. It'll be Lucy Grills now, the number 3 for New South Wales, to bring the ball back into play. Umpire John Clohessy marks the spot. There's a little 10-metre lob out in front. It comes up nicely for her too. Lucy Grills, the number 3. James Neal, the number 1. She comes down to the 30-yard line, takes the bounce. The ball comes up nicely for her too. Heads down now past the centre of ground towards that eastern 30-yard line. The number 1 in perfect position. There's the pass. There's the take. Cops a bit of timber from the opposing number 3, but the whistle's gone. Wild swing. See what the umpire decides. It'll be a free goal. Just waiting to verify that. I don't want to preempt the umpire's decision. Goal to New South Wales. 8-3. Umpire John Clohessy calls the players into line. Looks pretty good. Comes down now in favour of the New South Wales players. Over is sharked out of the centre there by the opposing number 3 and Michael Castles. Michael Castles now with the ball, waiting for his number 1 to get down to that 30-yard area. Copping a bit of treatment from one of the New South Wales players there. That's the number 1 from Jim Grills. Works his way around, throws the pass in there to the number 1 in James Neal, and James Neal puts it through for another goal to Queensland. 8 goals now to 4. Second chucker. Ball back in the centre, far side of the ground, under the VIP stand. Umpire Grant Clark calls the players into line. There it is now. Comes up there into the racket of the number 3 for the Queensland side in Michael Castles. Michael Castles now with the ball. Heads along that far side boundary. Looks up there towards his number 1 in James Neal. James Neal takes a lovely pass to James Neal, the number 1. Lucy Grills, the number 3. One-on-one situation. James Neal works around the back and lobs one over the top and puts another goal on the board to Queensland. Outstanding junior polocrosse. There is absolutely no doubt. 2 very, very polished, well-oiled units. Ball back in the centre now. John Clohessy, the umpire. Not happy with the lineup. Looks a bit better this time. There it is, thrown in, comes to ground, and no, it doesn't. It goes into the racket of the number 3 for the New South Wales side in Lucy Grills. Lucy Grills gets out of a lot of trouble, heads down towards the 30-yard line. The number 1 there in Jim Grills in perfect position, grabs it and puts it through for another goal to New South Wales. 9-5. New South Wales favour. Ball back in the centre, far side of the ground. Umpire Grant Clark calls the players into line. Line-up looks pretty good. There it is, thrown in now into the racket of the number 1. That man, Jim Grills, the number 1 for the New South Wales side. He's just trying to work his way out of trouble now, and he's got quite a bit of ground to go to too. He takes a bounce over the 30-yard line. He takes the trap. The number 3 there in Michael Castle comes into defence for New South Wales. Great defensive work it was. Jim Grills comes in on near side pickup, works around the front of the opposing number 3 and puts it through for another goal to New South Wales.
No indication there's been any changes. So Murray Scott, Mitchell Whiteley and Liam Shaw with a 6-1 chucker. You probably wouldn't do much of a change. But going into the Queensland, we'll get it checked for you as they line up. It's righto, ball goes in, now goes into number 2's. There's Mitchell Whiteley again, pops it across to his number 1 in Murray Scott. Murray Scott goes to the line, bounce trap in front, and that's a quick start to New South Wales. 11 goals to 6. John Franklin, Sam Reid and Matt Taylor for Queensland.
Score check there.
11-6 it is. Sorry, 11-5 it is. Sorry, that is stands corrected. In a go, ball goes out. Oh, number 2, Mitchell Whiteley. He is just showing you what the 2 position is all about. The umpires indicated there was an unsighted swing and a free goal to New South Wales. So they get a free one on the board. Not what Queensland will be looking for at this particular point of time in the match, although it's only the 3rd chukker and there's still heaps of Polocrosse to go. Score goes out to 12 goals to 5. Umpire John Clohessy lines them up on the commentary side. Off the 1's racket, in behind the 2's and the 3's. Spooned out in front by that man again. Mitchell Whiteley throws it across. They got a good communication. Look it over. Isn't he? I think he did. He must have been very close to the line. Very hard to pick up. And yes, indicated he did carry over the line. So the number 3 in Matt Taylor for Queensland. He'll turn it over here and he'll take the 10-metre penalty throw. Takes it out in front of him, sits up nicely. Oh, big lace up there from Murray Scott, the number 1. But these boys know how to handle the stick. Oh, comes around the pack. Now he's got him a light. Looking for his number 1 in John Franklin. John Franklin to go in a little offside pass in front and all clear. 2 goals to 1 in favour of New South Wales in this chukker. 12-6. The scores are doubled, but only starting in this 3rd chukker. Grant Clark for the Northern Territory will line them up on the scoreboard side. They go steady in, ball goes into centre pack on the ground, can't see it, there's blue shirts down everywhere, and that man down the centre there got his head down like a duck on a pond, and that's Mitchell Whiteley's got it, and guess what? He comes up with a 2. That's what you get when you look for that ball all the time. He's just had his head down, he's got the maroons all over him, but a little check back, nicely marked up there by the number 3 there to help him out in Matt Taylor. Liam Shaw. Lee checks in behind now, trying to link up with his number 1. Now he gets a little lead out in front. Oh, nice big long pass. Bounces up for him forward, right into the top right-hand corner into 30-metre line. Again, he checks back there. Number 3 there in Matt Taylor from Queensland against Murray Scott. Now he goes for that little run under the neck and has a shot and did it nicely. All clear, says the umpire. 13-6, 3rd chukker. Umpire John Clohessy lines them up. In a go, snapped out of the front by John Franklin, the number 1. Heads to the line, lets the Black Horse run. All he needs is a good bounce, which he gets, and he's right in front. And a very nice return goal there by Queensland. He snapped a nice ball out of the front of the lineup. 3 goals to 2 in favour of New South Wales in this chukker. Last time they came out, it was a 6-1. It's only 3-2, so the Queensland side have tightened this up quite well. 13-7 is the score. In it goes, big rackets go out the front, out the back it goes, the number 3 for Queensland. Got it, Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor to John Franklin. The flick, the pass, it's good, it's in front, and the umpire says all clear. Well, 3 goals apiece. 13-8. 3rd chukker. 5 chukkers to go. Ooh, rackets fly out like a windmill. Down the back, the number 3 for New South Wales. Scrapes it up, lays the racket flat on the dirt. That's Liam Shaw. Liam Shaw looking for Murray Scott. Calls him on the offside. Little nice pass in front. Being held up there by Matt Taylor. Takes him, works him right out to the 30-metre line. It gets around him with a bit of swing on the inside of him. And as it bounces through, it's all clear to New South Wales. 14-8 it is. $14-8 it is. As umpire Grant Clark lines them up. Goes in off the one's racket, goes in behind the three, leans out. Oh, he got it. Yes, he did. He'd had the number three's racket over the top of it from the opposing side, but he comes up with the ball. That's Liam Shaw linking up with Murray Scott again on the offside. Up with him is Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor takes a big swing and unloads him. Unloads him beautifully. Rides over it. Who's got it? This man has got it. Sam Reed's got it. He's under a heap of power, and the umpire has blown the whistle. Free goal to Queensland. Well, running 4 goals apiece, so they've tightened this up very well, the Queensland side. They didn't panic about it. They kept the same sections coming out, knowing that the boys could do it, believed in themselves, and they're back to a 4-goal piece in each section here. Out it goes that man, Mitchell Whiteley's got it. Round he goes, he gets unloaded this time. Leaves it to his opposing number 2, Sam Reed. Sam Reed hunted up to the line by the number 3 in Liam Shaw. Liam Shaw's got him. What's he going to do? He gets out of problems. He's under a power of trouble. Calls out, and that's Chucker, guys. That's Chucker umpires. Well, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. 4 goals apiece, and it's 14 goals to 9. Queensland drawing a little closer. Going into the 4th chucker. See whether there's going to be any changes. Just quickly marking the lines again. Couple of changes here now. Queensland drawing this little 14-9. Only the 4th chucker. Ross O'Brien's just coming back up. We got a bit of a break here, Ross. See, that was a good chucker, that one. Those that first sections. And they'll get him to write down that you'll have the team changes coming in. 4 goals even for the last section that came out. And the score's at 14-9. Well, they're drawing a little closer. They're regrouped there, Ross, and that section was 6-1 in the first and 4-4 all in the all.
Yes, Andrew, they were 5 goals ahead, the New South Wales boys in the first chucker, but they haven't been a goal to add any more. It's been 4 all for 2 chuckers since. We now come into the 4th chucker. For the New South Wales side, Jim Grills, Ben Bennett, Lucy Grills. For Queensland, James Neal, Ben Patterson and Michael Castle. Ball thrown in now into the racket of the number 1 there in Jim Grills for the New South Wales side. Heads down towards the 30-yard line. Works his way around the back of the players now. Comes up to the 30-yard line, takes the bounce, comes up nicely for him too, and drives one through for another one for New South Wales. Score now goes to 15 goals. 15 goals, 9. Ball now comes in, thrown over the back. The first to turn and get there's the number 3 for the New South Wales side, unloaded out of his racket on the ground. Who's going to come in now? It's that man, the number 1, Jim Grills, overrides the ball. Now it's left to the number 2 there for the New South Wales side in Ben Bennett. Ben Bennett goes up towards the 30-yard line. The pass comes in though, but intercepted there by the number 3 for the Queensland side in Michael Castles. Michael Castles lobs the ball out in front of his teammate there. I think it's the number 2 in Ben Patterson. Ben Patterson now. Ball unloaded again. The first one to get back there's Jim Grills, the number 1 for the New South Wales side. Goes in, and what's he do with it? He puts it through for another goal to New South Wales. By gee, there's no room out there for error. I can tell you that much. These blokes are playing for keeps well and truly. Takes the score now through to 16 goals to 9 in favour of New South Wales. Ball back in the centre here under the PA system. Umpire John Clohessy calls the players into line. The number 1's really milling, and it's a tight competition out there, and a free throw has been given to the number 1 for New South Wales. Wasn't happy with the line-up by the Queensland players. So it'll be Jim Grills, the number 1 for New South Wales. Takes a little lob out in front of him, all every bit of part of 15 metres. He comes up nicely for him too. Heads down towards that 30-yard line, takes the bounce, traps the ball right in the corner of the ground. Cops a bit of treatment with the opposing number 3. Michael Castle gets around that player and puts another one on the board for the New South Wales side. 17 goals to 9 now. Just changing on the scoreboard. 17 goals, 9 in favour of New South Wales. They're just sneaking away a little bit more. Ball back in the centre, far side of the ground. Umpire Grant Clark throws the ball in now. Comes out the back. The first to turn and get there is the New South Wales player. He couldn't do much with it. Left though for that man, Jim Grills, the number 1 there for New South Wales again. Weaves in and out of traffic. Waiting to get an opportunity to go to the 30-yard line. Lobs over it for a near side pickup. Comes up nicely for him too. Now it's Jim Grills versus the number 3 and Michael Castles. Michael Castle's the number 3 for the Queensland side. Jim Grill's the number 1 for New South Wales, working that 30-yard area. Comes around to all Michael Castle's laid a bit of timber on him. It didn't upset Jim Grills too much, so he did the 360 and put it straight through for another goal to New South Wales. 18 goals to 9. 4 goals to 0 this chucker. Not looking good for Queensland, but there is an 8 chucker game. We're only we're shy of the halfway mark yet, so there's plenty of time to make it up. Ball back in the centre. Umpire John Clohessy calls the players in a line. Comes down over the back, the first to turn and get there's a number 2 there for the New South Wales side. He couldn't do a lot with it. The ball still on the ground. The number 3 now for New South Wales in Lucy Grills. Lucy Grills now trying to work her way out of trouble, and she's done exactly that now. The number 3 for, no, it's not the number 3, it's the number 2 for the Queensland side there, coming in to lend a hand. Lucy Grills' little pony just sort of working around now. Goes up towards the 30-yard line, trying to get it into Jim Grills. Lucy Grills though still controls the ball, centre field, looks for the pass. There's the pass in, and lovely take by the number 1 on Jim Grills, and drops it through for another goal to the New South Wales side. 19-9. They really are a great unit, aren't they? Players line up far side of the ground. Umpire Grant Clark calls the players into line. Looks pretty good. There it is. Ball comes off rackets. Comes down in favour of the New South Wales players. They can't quite get a handle on it. Now the Queenslanders. Now it's in the racket there of the number 2 for the New South Wales side in Ben Bennett. Ben Bennett peels a little skew ball pony out of the pack. Drives him down towards the 30-yard line. He's number 1, Jim Grills, in perfect position over the top. All sharked out of the middle though by the number 3 there, and Michael Castle for the Queensland side. Ball comes to ground. First to turn and get there's Jim Grills, the number 1 for New South Wales. And what did he do with it? All clear indicated by the goal umpire, so another goal on the board, which brings them up to 20 goals to New South Wales versus 9 for Queensland. 6-0 chucker. Andrew just reminded me. Well, what do you do? Pretty hard to beat a side when they're doing this, but anyway, I'm sure the Queenslanders will keep at it. Ball back in the centre, umpire John Clohessy. Players line up, thrown in this time into the racket of the number 2 there for Queensland. Cops a bit of timber from the New South Wales side. Gets out of trouble. Hens down towards the 30-yard line. There's the pass into the number 1 in James Neal. James Neal puts it straight through for a goal to Queensland. They only need the opportunity. They can soon finish it off, these boys and girls. 20 goals to 10. 20 goals to 10 in the 4th chucker. Bearing in mind it's an 8 chucker game, so there's still plenty of time. Ball back in the centre over under the VIP stand. Now it comes down there. Picked up this time by the number 3 for the New South Wales side in Lucy Grills. We're playing here on the Griffin Energy field. Head down towards the 30-yard line. Look for the pass into Jim Grills. Just lobs the ball up in the air. Where does it go to? It's on the ground. Probably beating the players over the line and out of bounds. Umpire John Clohessy calls for the ball, and he'll throw it in between the 2 players involved. That is time. Thank you. Umpire time. So at the end of the 4th chucker, about halfway through the game, we've got a 20 goal to 10 ball game in favour of New South Wales. Andrew, it's a big lead for a side at the halfway mark, but I'll tell you what, those Queensland boys don't need many opportunities, and they'll be right back into the game.
Yeah, definitely, Ross. They'll be back right into it. It's 20 goals to 10. When they came out the first time, they ran 4 apiece. So this time they just stamped their authority a little bit more. New South Wales and made it 6 goals to 1, 20 goals to 10. We're going into the 5th chucker. We'll see if there's been any changes. Queensland, we know, will just keep clawing away at this game. And we've seen a lot of them turn in the normal 6-minute game after the 4th. So there's still 4 to go after this, so it will change around. And you can guarantee Queensland will be clawing their way back up to this game. Righto, John Clohessy ready to line them up as they walk in. In it goes off the 1's racket behind the 2's in front of the 1's. Now they go out in front. They keep on the eye. The number 3 there. He rides. Oh, they all ride over it. Lean out. That doesn't leave it for the number 1 in Murray Scott. Bounce, trap, and make no mistake, there was a couple of opportunities for both sides on the ground, but it was New South Wales picking up the crumbs. Grant Clark, the umpire on the other side. 21-10 goes in out of the centre this time. Sam Reed's got it. Round he goes. So he's number one and says, I'll give it to you. You can know number 3, and that's Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor's got to work around. He's got 2. He's got Mitchell Whiteley there. Just going to take him round. Up he goes. Give him a big swing. Up he goes. The other number 1, and Murray Scott takes him on. Now they go to the line looking for John Franklin. Over he goes. Pops a little one over. He's not set in the corner yet as he works around. Now setting his number 1 up there, who's hard ridden by the number 3 in Liam Shaw for New South Wales. Liam Shaw puts a high one over the top side, sits up for him. It does this time on the second bounce on the offside as he wheels around. Can't get an opportunity at the goals against Liam Shaw, the number 3 for New South Wales. Checks up and just faces him up as he goes in, tries to have a little shot under the neck, but that's not available either. Now it steadily works across the top of the D, comes up, checks up left, goes right, and drops one. Oh, knocked forward, beautifully read, but he's got it again as he throws the racket on the ball and says, I'm going to get it again. Now he's just steadily pacing across. He's going to need a couple here at the moment. They're a little bit behind, but only in the 5th chucker. And this time he makes no mistake and puts it through as they're running 1 goals apiece. 21 goals to 11 it is in favour of New South Wales. Threes have been called over. In it goes. Where's it gone? The umpire, Grant Clark, has blown the whistle. He's saying 3s weren't in, so John Clohassie will recommence the throw in. 21-11. In it goes. Where's it gone? It's gone off in New South Wales, number 2. But it's the number 1 in Murray Scott's got the eye on the ball. Boy, these guys are quick to watch where the ball is. Round he goes. Bounce, trap, in front. And no goal. Little drifter to the right-hand side there. As Matt Taylor came steaming in on the offside. So he'll bring the ball out. Just waiting to get the ball back to him. Okay, a lot of jockeying in midfield here. The 3s on the 2s around they go. Mitchell Whiteley just sitting in the centre there. Now it goes out. Matt Taylor, the number 3. Big offside. Oh, he's under a heap of Murray Scott's got him. The Blues have got him. They're on either side. The big hook shot goes on. The ball goes out of the racket. And guess where it goes? Into Liam Shaw's racket. As he went from one end of the paddock to the other. He gets a beautiful check back right on the tee here in centre field. Now he sets it up. Gets a little bit of assistance there with a nod and a wink from his fellow players. Round the pack he goes. Mitchell Whiteley just keeping the other number 3 out of position. He's into the bottom left right-hand corner here to me, looking for his number 1. What's he going to do? He throws it into the area. Ball goes off the number 3's racket. Number 1 picks it up with Murray Scott. Murray Scott against Matt Taylor. Drives him up over the back line. Has to throw it back in. Good work from Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor comes out. He rides over the top of the ball. Can't see where it is at the moment. It's it's picked up. Must have been just inside centre field. It must have been a millimetre in. Picked up by the number 3 in Liam Shaw. Liam Shaw, the number 3, working around. The big pass goes across to Murray Scott. He kicks up, gets a good bump and a shove there from Matt Taylor, the number 3 for Queensland. Now they do a little bit of backing up together. Comes around and takes him on the stick. Leans on, has a shot out the side door. And all clear, says the umpire. Well, it's only 2 goals to 1 in favour of New South Wales in this chucker. And boy, they've really tightened up this Queensland side. It's running goal for goal. They're making each other work really hard for it. A lot of turnovers in centre field. Really making that happen. In it goes in the centre pack. It's locked off the 3's racket there. Goes on the ground on the New South Wales. He retrieves it back nicely. Gathers the reins up. Looks over his shoulder. Gets a bit of a call out in the midfield. Where's it going to sit up? Looks like it's Murray Scott. He's in free man's land out there. He just sets up and wheels in and trying to get around the Queenslander in Sam Reed. Now he gets around him. Sam Reed takes him on, takes him to the line. A big check up. The big arms goes out the back, the forward, the swings as he pops it into the area. And we'll wait for the umpire's decision. A little bit of argy-bargy going on there. Okay, it's been given to New South Wales. Murray Scott from just outside the 30-metre line. Down it goes on the offside, wheels it round, looks over his shoulder for Matt Taylor, gets around him and drives a big long, but no goal, says the umpire. No goals, that drifted out to the right-hand side. He really let that one fly. Might have had a little bit too much curve on it. Round it goes. It's Matt Taylor, the number 3 for Queensland, ready to bring it out again. Can they turn it over? Running 2, runs into the pack here. Look at him. There's one blue either one side and one the other. Good work from Sam Reed. Up goes Murray Scott. Absolutely unloads him. But back he goes again. Retrieves the ball. This boys, they're doing it hard. These threes, they're just working from one end of the field to the other. Now he's looking for John Franklin. John Franklin, he gets around Murray Scott. Around he goes. Murray Scott takes him on again. He's under a heap of power, and that's the end of the chucker. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to give him a round of applause for that game, that chucker. It was brilliant. 2 goals to 1. They really put the pressure on.
Righto, we've got the sides here for you now. Jim Grills at 1, Brianna Field at 2, Lucy Grills at 3 for the New South Wales side. For Queensland, James Neal at 1, Ashley Wheeler at 2 and Michael Castle at 3. Umpire John Clohessy. Timeout is called. Just got a bell boot missing. Righto, umpire John Clohessy calls the players into line once again. Line up now, he just wants them to look a bit better. There it is now, straight into the racket of the number 2 there for the Queensland side in Ashley Wheeler. Ashley Wheeler now with the ball, the left-hander, works his way out of a bit of trouble, heads up towards that 30-yard line there on the western end of the ground. Looking for the pass across there to his number 1 and James Neal. James Neal couldn't do a lot with it. Ball comes to ground. Who's the first to turn and get there? Beating the players over the line and out of bounds. Taken out by a horse's hoof or off a horse, as the saying goes, so it'll be the umpire John Clohessy to bring the ball back into play. He'll throw it in between the number 1 there in James Neal and the number 3 and Lucy Grills. Lucy Grills the first to turn, reaches out, picks that ball up, takes a lovely bounce, playing with a terrific amount of confidence, goes down towards the 30-yard line, passes across there to Jim Grills, and what's he do? Drops it through for another goal to New South Wales. 23 goals to 11, 6 chucker, very early stages. One just senses that this game could blow out. I hope not. I'd like to see it tighten up. 23 goals to 11 in favour of New South Wales. Players line up far side of the ground. Umpire Grant Clark calls the players. There it is. Comes down now. The first to get there is the number 3 for the Queensland side in Michael Castles. Michael Castles now over there under the VIP stand. Heads down towards the 30-yard line. Looking for the pass across there to his number 1 in James Neal. Couldn't take it cleanly. The ball on the ground. James Neal the first to turn. Lucy Grills to defend for New South Wales. What's he do? He drops it through for a goal to Queensland. So that takes their score through to 23 goals to the New South Wales, 12 goals to Queensland. Ball back in the centre here under the PA's commentary box. John Clohessy, the umpire, calling the players into line. Looks pretty good. There it is, ball thrown in, comes to ground now into the New South Wales favour. Couldn't quite get a handle on it now. Yes, they can. They're through the agency. No, they can't. It's unloaded, but picked up this time by that man, the number 1 in Jim Grills for the New South Wales side. He heads down towards the 30-yard line, takes the bounce. Ball comes up nicely for him. Works around the front of the Queensland player and it hit the post, comes back into play, so it's still a live ball. The first to get there now is the number 3 for the New Queensland side in Michael Castles. Michael Castles works around that 30-yard area. Jim Grills pushing all the pressure on him down to the 30-yard line. He takes the bounce. The ball comes up nicely for him. He spreads a little pony out on that far side of the ground up towards the 30-yard line, looking for the pass across there to his number 1 in James Neal. James Neal now with the ball. The number 3, Lucy Grills for the New South Wales side defending. Working that 30-yard area. Lucy Grills lays a bit of timber on, unloads the ball. Lovely bit of work there by the number 3. She can't quite pick it up on the first or second occasion, but she does on the third. Lucy Grills now turns defence into attack. She takes the bounce. Ball comes up nicely for her, and who's right alongside her but a number 1 in Jim Grills. Jim Grills now goes to the 30-yard line. There's the pass across. There's the take, and there's the goal. It doesn't get much better than that at any level of Polocrosse, let alone juniors. So it's 24 goals to 12 in favour of New South Wales. 36 goals scored, and we haven't played 36 minutes. Time off is called here by umpire John Clohessy. 36 goals scored between the two sides, and we haven't played 36 minutes, so we're getting better than a goal a minute. That's top-class Polocrosse in anybody's language. Ball back in the centre. Over under the VIP stand. Umpire Grant Clark calls the players into line. There it is, ball thrown in, comes over, probably favouring the New South Wales side. Can they do anything with it? No, it's still on the ground. It's left now for the number 3 for the Queensland side. In Michael Castle picks the ball up, heads down to his number 1 in James Neal, and James Neal puts it through for a very quick goal to the Queensland side. 24 goals to 13 in favour of New South Wales. Ball back in the centre. Over here on the PA side of the ground, umpire John Clohessy calls the players into line. He wants the number 2s to settle. There it is, comes in now straight into the racket of the number 3 for the New South Wales side in Lucy Grills. Lucy Grills goes down to the ground at a hand candle, looks for the pass across there to a number 1 in Jim Grills. Jim Grills now versus the number 3 for the Queensland side in Michael Castle, and he does a little backhand shot and drops it through for another one to New South Wales. 25-13. Not much more I can say about it, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it as well as I can. Certainly the Queensland side aren't disgraced. The New South Wales side, on the other hand, are an absolutely well-oiled machine. I saw them play the other day against Western Australia, and it gave them the greatest shock of all time. The ball back now in the racket of the number 1 there for the Queensland side in James Neal. James Neal passes it across to his number 3. He couldn't quite pick it up. The number 2 now for the Queensland side in Ashley Wheeler. The left-hander works his way out of trouble, and he's got the ball now for the Queensland side. The number 2 there in Ashley Wheeler heads down towards the 30-yard line, trying to get a pass across to the number 1 in James Neal. There's the pass across. What happens to it? The ball comes to ground. Nobody can get a handle on it at this stage. Players are getting very tired. The first to turn and get the position is Lucy Grills, the number 3 for the New South Wales side. Picks it up on this occasion, works around now the back of the, away from the player, but what's happened there? The whistle's gone. Probably for hitting too far back. I don't know about that, but certainly it's in favour of the New South Wales side anyway. The little 10-metre lob comes out for Lucy Grills. She just works her way around in front of the pack now. Lucy Grills on complete control, unloaded over the ball, still going down in the direction of the New South Wales players. All players override the ball. It's just about right on the 30-yard line for the New South Wales side. Time, thank you. Time, sorry for the Queensland side it was, but time anyway. So at the end of the sixth chuck of the score stands at 25 goals to New South Wales, 13 goals to Queensland.
Okay, they've got a big change in New South Wales, so they're feeling pretty confident out here by making all these changes they have. You've still got Mitchell Whiteley, the number 2. Ben Bennett comes into the 1, and Liam Shaw has a bit of as a number 3. And they've rested the number 1 in Murray Scott. Done a fantastic job. Up they go. Watch these boys. Here they go. 7th chucker. Ball goes in behind the 2s. Picked up there by the 3. Knocked out forward over in the middle of the paddock. He scrapes it out over there down the bottom end of the line. Has to throw it back over his shoulder. Gets a call from Mitchell Whiteley. He's been playing an absolute blinder, but this time it's Sam Reed. Snuck it from under his neck. Looking for his number 1 in John Franklin. John Franklin not on the right. He's on the right side. The pass is knocked into the area as they all collide there. And the ball goes into the bottom right-hand corner. The umpire is blowing the whistle. Timeout's been called. Umpire's going to line it up. Time on's been called. Liam Shaw against John Franklin. Great competition between these two young players. Umpire not happy with the way they're lining up. In it goes, out over the back it goes. It's number 3 for New South Wales. Throws it out into the area. Big offside pickup, close to the line. Oh, it was in millimetres inside here. Wheels around up to the centre of the paddock he goes. Up goes the number 2 in Sam Reed. Takes him on. He's got better brakes. He checks up looking for the number 1 in Ben Bennett. Back Bennett's got it against the number 3 in Matt Taylor, and he slots one through. 26-13 it is. That's the advantage, having great depth in your state side, is you can rotate anyone anywhere and they do the job for you wholeheartedly and 110%. Ball goes in, snapped out of the centre by Mitchell Whiteley, the number 2. The umpires indicated New South Wales goal. Correct, thank you very much. Bit of a flat one coming in there somewhere. Righto. In it goes. Oh, snapped out of the front by John Franklin, the number 1. Oh, Ben Bennett holds him up. Back there's Mitchell Whiteley. Gets around him. Little call there from his number 3 in Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor gives him a little offside, right in the tight corner. Oh, he gets around, looks over his shoulder where the line was, and he was away from it, and he puts it through for Queensland. 2-1 in favour of New South Wales in this chukker. 27-14 is the score. Into the 7th chukker, this junior final out here between New South Wales and Queensland. Next one coming up is the intermediate one, or the under-21s between Western Australia and New South Wales. In it goes in front there, goes out John Franklin's side, but the ball rolls out over the side. We'll wait for the umpire to decide what he's going to do. He's going to line it up again. In it goes into the centre pack on the ground. Can't see John Franklin got it. Nice call to Matt Taylor. Taking the pressure off him. Let him get down into the area. John Franklin's bottled up at the moment. Can't get in. He's ridden hard by there. Round he goes. He has to throw it into the area. It flies up there for the number 3 in Liam Shaw. Liam Shaw played it cagey. Took the other 3 into the area. Now he's got the ball on the racket. Crossed over the offside. Leans out. Does the big turn. Where is he? He has to throw it back in, but he umpire's blowing the whistle and it was carried over. So John Franklin, the number 1, will set it up just outside. Umpire John Clohessy points from the spot. Horses are tired, so are the players. Out he goes in there. Down on the ground it goes. It's knocked out in forward into centre field. Who comes up with it? Sam Reid. Sam Reid's hooked out of the racket by the number 3. Oh, bounces the wrong side for the players. Beautiful pick up from Sam Reid. Oh, he's got the big man, Liam Shaw, on his tail, but he handled that beautifully well. Ben Bennett, guys to take him on. He's taken on 2. Now he's right. What's he going to do? Sam Reid. Ben Bennett takes it out of his racket on the turn. He retrieves it and throws it quickly one in, but he too was over the line. Well, I don't think the ball's gone much past the centre line in the last couple of a minute or so. It's been wheeling around through the centre paddock here, and it's going for turnover. Now it's turned over once, turned over twice. Round they goes. So this man, Liam Shaw, out he goes over the offside, leans out the big long arm, big man, big boy. Oh, he's the pass was on, but that wasn't with the racket, I don't think. He said, I don't want the whole lot, says Mitchell Whiteley. He said, just give me the ball. Now he's waiting, he's just going to wait. Now he gets in, he's got the Maroons all over him. They're going to buffet him everywhere where they can. In they go. Oh, he backs out. Now he waits for his fellow player to get back in the saddle and says, well, you can have it back again. Now, oh, he rides over the top of it. Sam Reid looks up down to the stirrup leather. He's got it in the racket, setting up now. The pass is on. Where's it gone? The umpire has blown the whistle, and free goal to Queensland, considering some interference was unnecessary there by the New South Wales number 2. So the 7th chukker running 2 goals apiece, 27-15 is the score. Well, they keep running chukker for chukker. Look at New South Wales. One more chukker to go would look like the likely winners at this stage, but you never know in this game. There was 8 goals thrown in one chukker at one game earlier in this week. Down they go. They ride up to it. Number 1's got it back on the ground. They're all very tired out there. Michael Whiteley flicks it back into play. That man again, Liam Shaw. Look at the pickup. The big long arm just wheels around. Up there, Sam Reid. Up on him he goes. He pops it across to Michael Whiteley now. Now they're just setting it up. They're just trying to take the pressure and the tiredness out of the players, and Ben Bennett's got it. Ben Bennett's got it. BB's got it. In he goes, and oh, he can't get it out of the rack. Yeah, he did. I didn't see where that one went, and it went through, though. The umpire lifts the sticks up. Nice little goal from Ben Bennett there. Seventh chukker. There's been some goals scored. 28 goals. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a huge round of applause. Come on, give him an absolute much as you possibly can. They did it hard, they did it tough. And look at the scores. There's 28 goals on one side and 15 on the other. There's a lot of goals scored in a competition. And we go down to the final 8th chukker. And you can tell when that's starting to kick in, the 7th and 8th, the pace sort of goes a little bit out of the game. So what a great junior final it is.
It really is something to watch. It's a spectacle that will probably be a long time before we'll see it in junior polocrosse again. 43 goals scored in 42 minutes of polocrosse. I think that speaks for itself. Righto, we have the changes for the Queensland side. They come out this time with Ben Patterson at 1, James Neal at 2 and Ashley Wheeler at 3. Any changes for the New South Wales side? New South Wales, how are they lined up? Same as they were. Same as they were. So we've got Jim Grills at 1, Brianna Field at 2, Lucy Grills at 3. The last chukker, 6 minutes left before the moment of glory. Now there it is, the ball thrown in by umpire John Clohessy, straight to the racket there, the number 3 in Lucy Grills. She fires it over into the racket of number 1 Jim Grills, and what's he do? He just bounces over the line and puts it through for another goal of New South Wales. 28, 29, 15. Very early stages, last chukker. The tempo's probably gone out of the game a little bit. The horses are getting tired, the players are getting tired. 29, 15. Very early stages, 8th chukker. Ball over on the far side of the ground. Umpire Grant Clark throws the ball in. It comes down now in favour of the number 1 there for the New South Wales side. That's Jim Grills. Jim Grills now with the ball. He does what he's done on about 25 times or 24 times before. There it is, takes the bounce over. It doesn't come up as nice as it normally does. What's he going to do now? The first to turn and get back there will be the number 3 for the Queensland side in Ashley Wheeler. Ashley Wheeler, the left-hander, now comes down to the 30-yard line, takes the lob out there to his another player. I'll just pick him up in a second. It's a Queensland player. They got the ball. We'll get a number on his back shortly. Work out who he is. It's the number 1 there this time, and Ben Patterson. Ben Patterson takes the bounce. The ball didn't come up for him, and it's gone over the back line and out of bounds. See what the umpire decides. It's going to be a free throw from the back line for the number 3 for the New South Wales in Lucy Grills. Lucy Grills now, umpire John Clohessy marks the spot. Lucy Grills takes a little 10-metre lob out in front. Ball comes up nicely for her too, and a nice take. So we've got the number 3 there for New South Wales in that 30-yard area. That's Lucy Grills opposed to the number 1 in Ben Patterson. Lobs a pass out there, into the racket of the number 1 in Jim Grills. How does he do it? He lets the little pony have his head, goes down towards the 30-yard line, takes the bounce. The ball comes up for him. Does it? No, it doesn't. It's on the ground, but he's the first to turn anyway. Jim Grills now gets back to the ball, takes a little near side pick up, turns the pony around, heads back in towards the goals. He's going to settle it down a bit on this occasion. Righto, just settling the play down. Comes in towards the goals this time, trying to work around the back of his number 3 and Ashley Wheeler. He can take all the time in the world. It doesn't matter to the New South Wales side. There it is now. Goes through for another goal, and that's goal number 30 to the New South Wales side. So they've just doubled the Queenslanders, 30 goals to 15. I'm sure a lot of the other junior sides would be saying, well, we probably weren't as bad as what we thought, because there's a lot in the same boat. Ball now back in the centre near side of the ground over under the PA system. Umpire John Clohessy. Players line up. Waiting for the 2s. The number 3's just to straighten up a bit. The number 2's to move over. Looks better this time. There it is. Ball thrown into the racket of the number 3 there in Lucy Grills. She puts a long lob out in front of Jim Grills. I take it that they're brother and sister. I don't know. There's the bounce. That didn't quite come up for him, but he's the first to turn like he always is. Turns around now. Takes a little near side pick up. Works around the back of the number 3 and puts it through for another goal. That makes it 31 goals to 15 in favour of New South Wales. The tempo has certainly gone out of the game. It's a warm day. The horses are tired. The players are tired. Ball back far side of the ground. Umpire Grant Clark calls the players into line. comes out now in the favour of the Queensland players. We'll just get a number on his back short. Is the number 2 there, I think it is for Queensland, in James Neal. James Neal now lobs the ball into his number 1, intercepted though by the number 3 and Lucy Grills. Lucy Grills now picks the ball up, comes down, takes the bounce over the 30-yard line, doesn't come up for her. The number 1 now right behind though in Ben Patterson. Ben Patterson turns around, bounces the ball into the area, picks it up. Ben Patterson the 1, Lucy Grills the 3. Working that 30-yard area. Players working around. Ben Patterson comes in towards the goals. Wasn't happy with the setup, so he's gone back out, give himself more room. This is a better approach on this occasion and puts it through for another goal to Queensland. 31-16. Counting down the minutes to the completion of this junior final here at the Griffin Energy National Championships. Ball back in the centre now. Umpire John Clohessy calls the players into line. There it is, thrown over the back into the racket of the number 3 for the New South Wales in Lucy Grills. She passes straight across to the number 1 in Jim Grills. Takes the bounce, takes the trap, and drops another one through for New South Wales. 32-16. Ball back in the centre. Umpire Grant Clark. Just what's happening here? We've just got one player off his horse, time off. I thought Jim Grills must have had cramp from throwing goals, but that's not it at all. Something wrong with his saddle. Right, Jim Grills has done his repairs. Ball's back in readiness now to complete this last chukker, the 8th chukker of this game. Umpire Grant Clark calls the players over just under the VIP stand. Players about to line up. Umpire Clark with the ball. There it is. The lineup doesn't look too bad. Thrown in over the back. The first to turn and get there's the number 3, New South Wales, Lucy Grills. What's she going to do? She's got the ball. The number 1's already peeled off. There's a long one up the top. He couldn't quite get it on the first occasion. She's gone into the area though. Overridden by the number 3 there for Queensland in Ashley Wheeler. Now it's the number 1 for the New South Wales side, and Jim Grills got possession of the ball. Puts one straight over the top and another goal. 33-16 in favour of New South Wales. Just now playing out time. Ball back in the centre here under the PA system. Umpire John Clohessy calls the players into line. The number 2 to straighten up. Looks a bit better this time. Still not happy. There it is. Looks better there now. Thrown in over the back. Who's the number 3? And there's the final bell. And who should have the ball but the number 3 there for the New South Wales side in Lucy Grills. But that was an absolutely outstanding effort on both sides. Certainly New South Wales was superior, but any other year, any other time, I'm sure that Queensland side would have been right there in the mix and maybe have even won it. So a big round of applause for all the players, all the umpires and officials. And as soon as we can get things organised, we'll have the presentation of this, which will then be followed by Western Australia and New South Wales in the under-21 men's final. So until then, we'll just have a bit of a break and we'll have the presentation. Thanks very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now do a presentation for the Open Junior competition for the Sam Irwin Memorial Trophy, which will be presented by Norm Esquire. But first of all, we'll have Queensland junior team. Who's going to introduce the team for you? Right. After you introduce them, just walk down there and we'll give you a little memento.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'd just like to introduce my team. Matty Taylor, Johnny Franklin, Ben Patterson, James Neal, Sam Reid, Ash Wheeler, our coach Jody Hall and manager Eric Beresford.
Well done. Can't remember all your names. You look like a Franklin. Well done. Well done. Good on you. Good game. Very slick young bastard, eh?
Sandy, can I grab that for a tick? Right. Yeah, just like to thank New South for the game. Awesome effort, fellas. You're a quality team. Well deserved. Thank you. Thanks, mate.
Right, now I'll invite the New South Wales Open Junior team to come. New South Wales defeated Queensland 33-16. They are the winners of the Sam Irwin Memorial Trophy. Where's Norma? Right, who's the captain? Yep. Hang on. Right, the Sam Irwin Memorial Trophy presented by Norma Squire.
I'd really like to thank everybody who's turned out today to watch us play. We couldn't have played without such great support, and we really appreciate it, so thank you very much. To everybody who brought us over here, like, obviously we wouldn't be here without you, so thank you so much. I know it's a big commitment, and, well, we really appreciate it. Opposition, Queensland. Well, these are the second best team out here, and we really had a great game. And thank you so much for it. Manager, my dad, thank you very much, Dad. Did a very good job. And to Bomber Rackets, he sponsored us, and, well, can't do any better than Bomber Rackets, so go buy one. And to Gary and Cole, thank you very much. You've guided us through this whole Nationals, and it's awesome. And to the team, I mean, like, look at them. Aren't we great? Aren't we so great? Yeah, well, this is Jim Grills, Mitchell Whiteley, Ben Bennett, Murray Scott, Brianna Field, Fat Girl, and Lucy Grills. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm also and the coaches, Gary Hallam, Cole Parkinson, and manager Gordon Shaw. And most of all, we'd like to thank our horses. Thank you.
Well done, young fella. Thanks. What's your name?
Liam Shaw.
Liam. Right.
Get in front there, Liam.
to introduce the special guest, local Member of Parliament for the seat of Swan Hills and Member of the Legislative Assembly, Frank Alban. Councillor Charlie Gregorini, Order of Australia, JP, Mayor of the City of Swan. Polocrosse Association of Australia President, Peter Crawford. Polocrosse Association of Western Australia President, Sandy McTaggart, JP. Polocrosse Association Board Members, State Presidents, distinguished guests, sponsors, represented by our major sponsor here today in Trish Hall from the Griffin Energy Group, players, ladies and gentlemen. Just a few words to say what a wonderful occasion it is, what a wonderful sight it is, and I welcome everybody here, and I now call on Mr. Peter Crawford, the President of the Polocrosse Association of Australia, to say a few words. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Ross. Mr. Frank Alban, local member for the seat of Swan Hills and the member of the Legislative Assembly. Councillor Charlie Gregorini, the Mayor of this Shire. Mr. Graham Lane, President of the Perth Polocrosse Club. Mr. Sandy McTaggart, who is the President of the Western Australian Polocrosse. My fellow board members of the PAA, state presidents, distinguished guests, sponsors, players, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what a wonderful event this is proving to be. The venue here is just absolutely superb, and an enormous amount of work and money and time and effort has gone into this venue to bring it up to this incredibly high standard. I thank the Perth Club and the West Australians for all they have done to make our stay here so successful and so enjoyable. So I wish you competitors a really hard, safe time here when you're playing, because it's a huge distance you've come, and we're very appreciative of that. And I just look forward to seeing more of the wonderful action that we've had. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crawford. Our next speaker, I'd like to call on Sandy McTaggart, Mr. Sandy McTaggart, JP, the President of the Polocrosse Association of Western Australia, to come forward and say a few words from a state perspective.
Thanks, Ross. I'd just like to recognise Peter Crawford, Mayor Charlie Gregorini, Frank Alban, and particularly I'd like to recognise the volunteers that have made this organisation go. It's been my privilege and pleasure this year to be President of this Polocrosse Association of WA, but I am only first amongst equals. We're all contributed. It's been a whole state effort. The preparation has taken 3 years for this, and the execution has been done by Graham Lane, Joe Langford, Mary Day and Phil Day particularly. And the efforts that they have made are evident before you today in the way that it's been prepared and the way it's run. We also have some wonderful sponsors, and in particular our major sponsor, Griffin Energy and Devereux Polo Ponies. Not only have they reached into their wallets, they put their shoulders to the wheel, which is a thing for a sponsor to do. I'm very, very proud of them. The events have been hassle-free, and I expect it to continue. And I thank you all for your cooperation, the terrific polocrosse, and the great spectacle. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandy. Our next guest, I would like to call on the Mayor of the City of Swan, Councillor Charlie Gregorini, to come forward and say a few words. Thank you, Charlie.
Okay. President of the Polocrosse Association of Australia, Peter Crawford, West Australian President Sandy McTaggart, my fellow councillor Frank Alban, and also the member for Swan Hills, special guests, competitors, and everyone who's been involved here today. It's indeed a great pleasure on behalf of the city to welcome you all here to the Brigadoon Polocrosse Championships for 2008. The State Equestrian Centre is something that I'm very proud of, and the land that you are on here today is the property of the City of Swan, so it's indeed our great pleasure to welcome you all here. I'm told that there's some 700 competitors from the eastern states, and also their crew and all the people that are here, and some 200 people from Western Australia. This is a wonderful event, and I have to take my hat off and congratulate everyone who has been involved in setting this up. And I hope that you really enjoy yourselves while you're here, and your families. And to all those competitors, all the best for these last 2 days of this competition. So on behalf of the city, can I wish you all well and hope that you have a wonderful stay at this centre.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's just been a bit of a unfortunate thing happened, nothing serious, but a timing factor. So I would like to once again call on Councillor Gregorini, the Mayor of the City of Swan, to come forward and officially open the Polocrosse Championships here for 2008.
I think this duty was supposed to have been that of fellow councillor, but it is indeed my great pleasure on his behalf and on the city's behalf to declare the 2008 Polocrosse Championships officially opened.
Thank you once again, Councillor Gregorini. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on Noni Trainer to come down, and she will, when she arrives down here, she will sing the national anthem. What a wonderful sight. We have the flag bearer, and we have the young lady with the great voice who's going to sing the national anthem for us, followed by 2 mounted police, beautifully prepared horses.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strengths, and let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath our radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this Commonwealth of ours renowned of all the lands. For those who've come across the seas, with boundless plains to share, with courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strengths, and let us sing, advance Australia fair. Up, up, up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that completes the official opening. What a wonderful spectacle that's been. And now I would ask Victoria to come around past the dais and lead the teams off. So if Victoria could just come around the front of all the horses and lead off around the dais. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. It's a magnificent sight. Thank you very much. That's the end of the official opening, and what a wonderful sight it's been. All the best for the remainder of the carnival.